Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, if you're new here, my name is Steve and I have a channel called Captain Drone where I review every single drone on the planet that is of quality, anything good. Doesn't matter if it costs $5,000 US or all the way down to like $100 US. It's on this channel. Now, after reviewing many drones, I have my favorites because some perform better than others. And I made a video not too long ago about drones that cost $299 US all the way down to just below $100 US. And those were my favorite drones out of the thousands on the market. So if you haven't seen that, the link is below. Go check it out. Now, a lot of viewers watched that and they said, well, those drones are great, but you know, I'm a little bit past the budget entry-level drone. I want something with a few more features and better quality. Well, in the world of drones, the more you pay, the better the drone and the less frustrations for you. So this video is all about drones, my favorites out of all the ones I've tested over the year 2020 and even 2019, some of these ones, that are $999 US all the way down to $300 US. When I say my favorite, I mean that you will have least amount of frustrations, you'll get the best bang for your dollar, and you'll be quite happy with the drone. So these are the ones I'm going to show you. And before I show you them, let me just tell you, each of these drones contains the following. I have a little list here, so I'm going to read it as I tell you. So 8 of the drones I'm going to show you all have a 3-axis camera gimbal. A 3-axis camera gimbal is the best thing in the world because when your drone is flopping around in the wind and doing this, or you're flying it back and forth, your video image just looks buttery smooth and super still. So you want a 3-axis gimbal. One of the drones does not have it. It has a 2-axis gimbal plus electronic image stabilization. And when I get to that drone, I'll explain it. And let me tell you now, the 2-axis gimbal with the electronic image stabilization is pretty darn good. You'd almost think it was a 3-axis gimbal. All of the drones I'm going to show you take quality photos and videos, better than the budget cameras that I had in my previous video of drones under $300. These are all high quality video and photo drones. All of these drones have built-in GPS, so that means if you lose connection with your drone or the battery's low, it just comes right back to where it took off, which is perfect. Hey, no assistance required from you. You never have to worry about losing your drone. And as well, when you're flying the drone, it just sits stable in the air and waits for your next command. It's really good to have the GPS. Each of these drones has a good to exceptional flight range. You know, some of them will go 1,000 meters, which is a kilometer, which is under a mile, and some of them will go miles away. Some of them also have a good to exceptional flight time. So the battery in the drone will, some of them will give you 30 minutes of flight time and other ones will give you something less than 30 minutes. So I'll explain that in the video. The great thing about spending more money on a drone is the drone comes with a warranty and some service if you run into problems. So all of these drones do have a warranty, some a little bit more limited than others because the drones aren't usually made in the country you live in for the most part. So you have to contact people elsewhere. All of the drones have a professional app for your phone or tablet, so it's high quality when you're looking on your phone and doing stuff. You have a lot of features, a lot of things you can change on the drone. It's not basic like the budget drones. It's very detailed, so really good on the app. Again, since you pay more for these drones, the brushless motors on them are all higher quality than on the budget drones. They will last years upon years upon years. And even the sensors on the drone, they have more sensors. So you might have sensors inside, outside, little things to help the drone do what it needs to do. Some of the drones have obstacle avoidance. That's when you're flying. If something's in the way, my little tree here, I'm coming up to a tree, it will stop and not hit the tree. Now, the best thing about each of the drones I show you, most of the manufacturers that make the drone, I've contacted them or I've contacted the distributor and I said, can you give me a better price than people would normally pay? Some of them came back and said, here's a better price. So that better price will be below this video in the links. Now, some manufacturers can't give a better price because they would call that unfair if they give me a better price over some other company or YouTuber. So I will just put a link to the website. You can go check it out. And if you like the price, then buy it from that manufacturer. All right, here we go. First drone up is the Hubsan Xeno. This is an older drone, so you get a lot of older features on it, but the features are really good and it's very inexpensive. You'll notice there's no sensors on the bottom. You probably can't see it from over there, but maybe you can. It is a foldable drone, which is really good. All the drones I'm going to show you are pretty much all foldable, so you can package them up. Foldable props, foldable arms, which is really good. This one has a great camera, 4K 30 frames per second, and a 3-axis gimbal. Let me put it down and tell you some more specs. The Hubsan Xeno does have an Umbrella processor in it, which is something found on higher quality drones. This is why the 4K video looks pretty good out of the Hubsan Xeno. It is rather a heavy drone. It's at 700 grams in weight. And as I mentioned, it takes 4K video at 30 frames per second. That is the maximum it can take. It does shoot photos at 4K resolution. Flight time on this baby is about 23 minutes and flight range is about just over 1 kilometer. It does have intelligent flight modes like follow me, waypoints, orbit, all the common ones that you would normally find, plus many others. So you can have a lot of fun with this drone filming. And it has no flight restrictions whatsoever, so you can fly this any place you want, any part of the world, and it's up to you, the pilot, to be responsible enough. Now, the controller looks like this. It's got a very basic controller. You pull out the bottom, put your phone down there. Works out quite well. And the box, I have it here. There's the box. It comes in Hubsan Xeno. You can get it in a shoulder bag version if you want. You pay a little bit more for that. Anyways, links are going to be below this video. I think it's... I'm going to put it below here. I think it's approximately, I'll just put approximately $300 US. It might be less. It might be a tiny bit more. Check out the links below. Watch my full review of this and check out the comments below the video, and you'll see that a lot of people are really happy with this here Hubsan Xeno for the price. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, the next drone to show you would be the Hubsan Xeno Pro Plus. It is a foldable drone, foldable arms, foldable props, as you can see. Same issue with no sensors on the bottom. It does have 4K 30 frames per second ability with a 3-axis gimbal, just like the previous model. I think it's the same camera. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the same camera. Now, the reason the Pro Plus is so great is because of the specs on it. So let me just put this down and I can tell you the specs on this drone. Here we go. Now the Xeno Pro Plus weighs 700 grams, and as I mentioned, it does have a 4K 30 frames per second maximum resolution video camera on the drone with a 3-axis gimbal. When it takes photos, it can take photos in 4K resolution and RAW, which is DNG, which is really good. I don't think the previous Xeno could do that. This one definitely does it. It has a flight time. Get this, it has a flight time of 43 minutes. You have to get the Plus model to get the 43 minutes. It has a flight range of about 8 kilometers. So you have to get the Pro Plus to get the 8-kilometer range. It's really good. It has intelligent flight modes, a pile of them. So you get all the follow me's, the orbit, the waypoints, and a pile of other cool modes with this thing. It is more pricey than the original Hubsan Xeno. I think the average price is around $370 US. And like the previous Xeno, there's no flight restrictions. All up to you, the pilot, to be responsible. This is what the controller looks like, just like the previous model, but it's black in color. And I have down here the box. It comes in, it looks like this. Xeno Pro Plus. Just make sure you get the plus sign. And as I mentioned, you can get some of them with a shoulder bag. I have a shoulder bag for this one. All right, that's a good buy. And as I mentioned, the price, I believe the price is around $370 US. I'm just putting this here. Check the links below and you'll find the price. It could even be less. All right, let's go on to the next drone. All right, the next drone to show you is another Hubsan Xeno, and this is the last one I'm going to show you in the Xeno line. This is the Xeno 2 Plus. This is the best Xeno money can buy on the market currently in the year 2020. I'm sure in 2021, by the summertime, they'll come out with a Xeno 3. But anyways, for now, this is the best one. It does have sensors on the bottom, so you have a choice. The other two Xenos I showed you, you cannot fly them indoors. There's no sensors. So if you fly them indoors, they'll fly into the wall because they need GPS. This one uses sensors for indoors and GPS for outdoors. So it's a pretty darn decent drone, and it is foldable like the other ones. And it actually has a better camera. It's got a really good camera, actually. It can shoot at 4K 60 frames per second on this baby. So let me put it down and tell you the specs about this thing. Now the Xeno 2 Plus is a larger size drone, and because of that it weighs more. It is 929 grams total weight. As I mentioned, it can shoot at 4K 60 frames per second for video in super high quality and a lot lower resolutions if you desire. It takes photos at above 4K and raw photos, and they're very tack sharp, very clear. Good photos with this here drone. It has a flight time with the big battery of 35 minutes. It has a flight range of 9 kilometers. It has a ton of intelligent flight modes, you know, like I've already mentioned, the basic ones, waypoints, follow me, orbit, all those good ones. It has no flight restrictions like the previous models, and it sells for, I think it sells for like $500 US. It could be a little bit less, a little bit more, because we're close to Christmas. You'll have to check the links below. This is what the controller looks like. The controller is pretty sweet because unlike the previous controllers, there is a display in the controller. Let me see if I can plop it down in front of my camera here. You can see that. See, there's a display in the front right here that lights up and gives you all the telemetry when you're flying, which is really good. Also, let me just put this drone down. Also, this is the box it comes in. So you see, this is what I mean. You have to have that plus sign. Make sure you get the plus, and then you know you're getting the best of the Xenos. And there we go. I'm showing what the plus sign looks like right on the top of the drone. You can see it there, Hubsan Xeno Pro. All right, so check this drone out below. It is the best of all the Xenos. If your price range is in the $500 US, then this is the one you want to buy. All right, let's go on to the next drone. And the next drone I'm going to show you is the Fami X8 SE 2020, which looks like a character off of Star Wars, a stormtrooper of sorts. Here, I'll show it in front of the camera. It doesn't look like a stormtrooper. So this has a really good 3-axis gimbal on it. It is a foldable drone. As you can see, I unfold the arms. It's made out of really good quality plastic. It feels really good and solid in the hands. It actually has a few sensors on the bottom right here, which is quite decent. 3-axis gimbal. Highest resolution is 4K 30, but overall, so many people really love this drone, and I think they love it because of the controller. Check out this controller. It's different. I'll show you this a bit more. Let me tell you the specs. Now, the Fami X8 does weigh quite a bit, but not as much as the Xeno 2 Plus. It's only 790 grams. It has a 12 megapixel sensor for photos, so you get a beautiful above 4K photo resolution, and it does shoot RAW just like the Xeno Plus and the Xeno 2 Plus. All shoots RAW photos, which is really good if you're into photo editing. Max resolution for video is 4K 30 frames per second, has a flight time on the included battery of 33 minutes, has a flight range of about 5 kilometers. It has tons of intelligent flight modes, some more than the Xeno, I believe. It's got an awful lot. It's got some really cool stuff. And it has no flight restrictions. So once again, it's up to you, the pilot, to make sure you don't fly this like near airports or places you shouldn't be flying. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about this here controller. There is no display on it. So the joysticks are hidden down here. You put them on. It does have a little 5-way controller here for stuff, but why people like this is because if you have a big phone or like a small tablet, you can usually fit it in there and fly it. And some people like the way it feels in the hands. The box that it comes in looks like this, and just like on Christmas morning, what is that? So anyways, there's the box. This drone is the second version right here, the 2020 model, and that came out in guess what year? 2020. So it sells really well. So many people pre-ordered this, bought it, and it's been like enhanced many times over, and it's a pretty good drone now. Watch my full review on it. You'll see the quality of the video and how it flies and everything else. It's really, really good. All right, so if you want to buy this drone, I believe the price for this, I have to look over here. What was the price? This is telling me that the current price, maybe without a discount, is around $399 US. So that means maybe if I got a discount for it, I don't know right now, there might be one below. It might be less than $399 US. So check out the links below and see if this is the drone for you. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, the next drone I'm going to show you that is super awesome is this tiny, tiny little drone that came out, well, a little while ago. It's called the DJI Mavic Mini, and it's probably on sale right now because DJI has basically replaced this drone with the DJI Mini 2 that I will show you in a second. But right now, the Mavic Mini, I want to show you that because I've done a lot of tests on this, a lot of review on it. It's a really good drone. It is only designed, only look at this drone, because I always get people that ask me, they go, hey, should I buy this or should I buy the Xeno 2 Plus? My God, that's the worst question in the world. The reason being is that the only people that buy this little drone, doesn't come with the Captain Drone sticker, the only people that buy this little drone are people who do not have a pilot certificate or people that want to fly a drone that is less than the regulations in their country. So most countries say if you have a drone that is under 250 grams, you don't have to follow certain regulations, and you can fly the drone in more places than if you have a drone that weighs more. That's why people buy the minis. They don't buy the minis and compare it to like, should I buy the Mini or an Inspire 2? No, you only buy this if you need a drone under 250 grams. All right, hopefully that made sense to everybody. It is foldable, so I think this is the perfect starter drone for most people because, like I said, most countries, you don't need any certificate. You can just go out and fly this. You take it out of the box, charge up the batteries, go fly. No licensing, nothing. It's a really good drone. And this is the Mavic Mini version. It's at a really good price right now at the DJI website. So I would check it out. Let me tell you the specs about this baby. Let me put it down here and tell you the specs. The weight of the DJI Mavic Mini is only 249 grams. The camera can take photos at a full 12 megapixel resolution, so that's above 4K. It looks really, really good. It can shoot videos at 2.7K at 30 frames per second, and the videos look darn good. For 2.7K resolution, it's probably the best on the market. Flight time for this baby on the included battery is 30 minutes. Flight range is a total of 4 kilometers or more, depends where you're standing. It has some intelligent flight modes. It does not have waypoint, but it does have quick shots for when you're on vacation. You just put yourself in the video and the drone will do everything else. And it does have flight restrictions. If you buy a DJI product, that's the only thing that pushes people away from DJI sometimes, the drone will check through the GPS on the app on your phone or tablet and check where the drone is sitting currently. And if you're in a restricted area for flight, you know, like there's an airport within a few miles away or whatever, the drone will not take off. So these drones are designed for safety and for people who have no knowledge of flight restrictions and just want to be safe. That's where DJI comes in. So if you buy this drone and you live near an airport, you may not be able to fly it. But if you buy this drone and you live, you know, a few miles away from an airport, you should be fine. The controller for the Mini looks like this, and you can see there's no display in it or anything. You put your phone down here. I'll just show it here. You put your phone, pull these out. Your phone fits at the bottom. Really simple design. Works with almost any phone on the market. Just be sure when you get a Mini that your phone is 64-bit. I will put a link below to the DJI website that shows compatibility with phones to use the app to fly a Mini, because it's not some dinky little phone you can use. You have to have a good quality phone to fly this, so I'll put the link below to that. The box it comes in looks like this. This is the Fly More kit, so you have a choice when you buy it. You can just buy the drone and the controller, or you can buy the drone, the controller, the case, prop guards, extra batteries, all sorts of stuff all in one kit. Those will all be linked below. Current price when it's not on sale is $349 US. If you find it on sale, it will be less than that. So check the links below. It might be on sale right now. All right, let me show you the newer version of this called the DJI Mini 2. And here it is. Let me bring it over to the camera. The only difference is, take a look at the props. The props have some orange on them here. I have a little sticker on mine to say DJI Mini 2. It does have a better camera than the previous model. That's the selling feature. It does weigh under 249 grams. The better camera shoots at 4K 30 frames per second, and it can shoot in RAW. Has a longer flight range, which is why a lot of people like the Mini 2, but you pay a lot more money to get the Mini 2. If your plan is only to fly like out a mile around you, then you can just get the DJI Mavic Mini, which I showed you previously. But if your plan is to fly out super far and record in 4K video, then you'd want the Mini 2. Now remember, if you record in 4K video, in order to watch 4K video and get your truest resolution and all that quality you just took, do you have a 4K computer at home? Probably not. Do you have a 4K tablet? No, not too many of those exist. Do you have a 4K phone? Probably not. So, you know, the only good thing about getting in 4K is it's future-proof, but if you don't have any of that and you have nothing powerful to run the 4K video, you'd probably shoot in a much less resolution. So you might be better off with the lower priced DJI Mavic Mini that I showed previous, vice the DJI Mini 2. So once again, foldable just like the previous model, and it is a pretty decent drone. So let me put this down and show you the specs. So the DJI Mini 2 weighs way under 250 grams, so you're fine to fly it in most countries without any restrictions or regulations. It does have a 12 megapixel photo, identical to the previous Mavic Mini, so you're getting the same photo quality. The difference is in the video, where this one here, the Mini 2, shoots at 4K 30 frames per second, and the Mavic Mini, previous one I showed you, shoots at 2.7K resolution, a little bit lower. Flight times are similar. The Mini 2 can fly for 31 minutes and the previous model can fly for 30 minutes. The Mini 2 has OcuSync 2.0, so it has a flight range of 10 kilometers. Just like the previous model, it does not have intelligent flight modes, but it does have quick shots and panorama photos, and it has flight restrictions. So just like the previous Mavic Mini, there's flight restrictions on this one. So now, since this drone has OcuSync 2.0, they have the OcuSync 2.0 beefy controller here. It's got a huge battery in it. It's really good. No display on it or anything, but it's pretty decent, and your phone goes in the top up here. So that's pretty cool. Some people like this controller better than the other one because your hands fit nice. It's nice and rubbery at the bottom here. I'll show you that. You can see the rubbery stuff here. Very grippy on the hands. Feels good in the hands with your joysticks. So this here Mini 2, in my opinion, it's better than the Mavic Mini, but if you're newbie and you have nothing to compare it to, then you probably get the Mavic Mini and save yourself a lot of money, especially if you're not flying far. And 2.7K video resolution is fine for you because the photos are identical on both drones, and the flight time is almost identical. It's just the range and the video, the communication system. All right, let's go on. Oh, I didn't even show you the box. Hang on a sec. Let me show you the box. There's a box here someplace. And this is the box it comes in. This is a Fly More combo. So you get the shoulder bag, get some extra batteries and some other stuff. But if you don't want the Fly More, you just want the drone, the controller, and a battery, it will cost you, I have to look over at my little screen here. Right now, when it's not on sale, it's going to cost you $419 US. If it's on sale, it will be less than that. So check out the links below to see if it's on sale. And let's go to the next drone. The next drone I'm going to show you is the Autel Evo. Now, the Autel Evo came out a while ago, a few years ago, and it was a really good drone when it came on the market because it competed with the DJI Mavic Pro and Mavic Pro Platinum. Those drones are discontinued because they were end of life. This drone, it's end of life. Yes, this year they made it end of life. So Autel no longer makes this drone, but in the year 2020, they are still selling it until all the stock is gone. So that means you, if you want your very first drone, you can get an Autel Evo at a dirt cheap price. Now, let me tell you what's really good about this drone. The weight of the Autel Evo is kind of heavy. It's 1,000 grams, but that's because it was made several years ago when nobody really cared about weight. Didn't matter how much a drone weighed. Where this drone, surpasses so many other drones on the market is in the camera. It has a 4K 60 frames per second camera video resolution, and it has a really good processor in it. So anytime you see video from an Autel Evo, it looks pretty darn decent. Has a 12 megapixel camera for taking photos, and you can take them in DNG RAW if you wish. Flight time is 30 minutes on a good day. Flight range is about 7 kilometers. Does it have intelligent flight modes? Yes, it does. It has all the good stuff. Follow me. It has orbit. It has waypoints, mission control, a pile of other stuff. So it's really good in that category. And look at me here. This drone has obstacle avoidance. So Mr. Tree flying in, it sees the tree. Yeah, it's not going to crash into the tree. It has obstacle avoidance, which is really good. And it has it on the back too. So if you have it in follow me mode and it's following you and you're going this way and then you walk towards the drone will go backwards, but it has little sensors in the back. So if your drone is going backwards away from you, it sees the tree and it will stop as well. And where Autel became really famous is they offered all this in a drone with no flight restrictions. Even today, Autel doesn't put flight restrictions in their drones. So first responders, anybody in that category, firefighters, anybody search and rescue, this is why it's the orangey color. They like the Autel Evo because no matter where they are, they put the Autel Evo down, they power it on, it fling, takes off. DJI drones do not start up as fast because DJI drones have to get the GPS signal, decide if you're in a no-flight zone or not, and then let you take off. These ones here don't need to do that, so when you power them on and power on the controller, you can usually take off within seconds. It's very, very fast. So that's another thing that's really good about this drone is the controller. This is one of the few drones on the market that you could literally fly this without a cell phone because there's a display right here. Now, you can't do the intelligent flight modes by using this display. But if you just put the drone on the ground and took off without a phone in there or anything like that, you would see the video feed back from the drone onto this, and you can fly around and record video, take photos, all that good stuff. So let me put this in the camera so you can see what it looks like. There we go. So right in the center, that's a display to show you the image that would come off the drone. So for that fact, a lot of people love the Autel Evo. Now, as I mentioned, the Autel Evo is end of life. So right now, I already had a video out on Black Friday, and I showed everybody that you could get the Autel Evo for around $640 US with extra batteries. But I believe all of those are gone because it was a really hot seller, and they only had so many. Like I said, it's end of life. But, I talked to Autel Evo, and they do have a deal on right now. The link is below. You can get the Autel Evo with the extra batteries, and you can get a pile of other goodies. Plus, I don't have one here. Plus, well, like this, a hard case. You can get a hard case, the rugged deal. It used to be like way over $1,000 but now you can get it for, if I look here, you can get it for $849 US. I'm going to put the links below. Go check it out. For $849, you get an awful lot. The reason you get an awful lot is, like I said, end of life. They're not making them anymore. So basically when you buy them, and when they're all gone, they're all gone. So if you want to grab one now, now's the time to do it. Links are below. Check it out. All right, next drone I recommend would be the Parrot Nafi, and it comes in this little case, which looks odd. So let's open it up because the Parrot Nafi is rather an odd looking drone. It's right here. Let me pull that out. It looks like a dragonfly, and that's how it folds. There we go. So you sort of get that dragonfly dead cat look to it. It looks like that. Now, the reason the Nafi is such an awesome drone is because the software and the interface, the app, is top notch. It is really, really good. It's so professional. It's amazing. You will love this. When you look at the app on your phone and all the things you can do, it has so many intelligent flight modes, you're just going to be amazed. Now, the camera on this is pretty darn decent as well. This is the drone I was talking about that has a 2-axis gimbal, not a 3. It has a 2-axis gimbal and electronic image stabilization, but it looks awesome in the resulting images. Also, this camera can look all the way up and all the way down. No other drone on the market can do that. So let me just show you what the camera looks like right here. So you can see the camera right there, and that camera has the ability to look straight up and straight down. It's really, really decent. It's a small drone. It doesn't weigh very much either, and has tiny little props. So how about I tell you the specs on it and then come back to me. Here we go. The Parrot Nafi weighs 320 grams, so it's very, very light. The camera on it takes a photo resolution of 12 megapixel DNG, so that's over 4K. That means it looks pretty decent, and that's looking straight up or straight down or straight forward, any way you wish. When it takes video can be at the max resolution of 4K 30 frames per second. It's really decent. Flight time is 25 minutes. Flight range is 4 kilometers on a good day. And does it have intelligent flight modes? It has so many intelligent flight modes. It's crazy. It's got an awful lot on here. And it has no flight restrictions. No flight restrictions whatsoever. You can fly this wherever you want. And it is the quietest drone on the market. When this thing's flying, you really can't hear it. It's so quiet compared to every other drone I've shown, even compared to the Mavic Minis. The Mavic Minis are more noisy than this, and they're small drones, but this thing here, because of the way the propellers are, it's really, really decent. The controller for it looks like this. Some people like the controller, some people don't. And what am I doing wrong here? There we go, and I can flip it up. So let me show you the controller down here. It looks like that, so your phone fits in the top part. Just fit it in there, and you have this. It's very bulky. You know, it's not a very well designed controller. It's like a video game controller, but kind of bulky in the hands. But for the purpose that you use it for, it works. The flight range, as I mentioned, is pretty decent on this. The problem is that the flight range is only good if there's no obstructions between you and the drone. As soon as you put one tree between you and the drone, the flight range on this is not that great. It really suffers. It's because of the communication system they're using. But if there's nothing between you and the drone and you're out in the middle of the prairie someplace and it's just flat ground, then you can get a pretty good flight distance on this. So price for this varies. I've seen it on sale on Amazon. I've seen it on sale at various stores. It goes around $499 US. That's the price range. I'll put links below to some places I found it, and you can check it out. Maybe it's on sale for Christmas. Maybe it's on sale for Boxing Day. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Check it out. All right, the next drone I want to show you is the Skydio 2. This is a piece of technology designed for a specific type of drone user out there. So if you fall into this category, this is a drone for you. This is a drone designed for somebody who is very active in life. In other words, you're not somebody who just sits in a chair and flies a drone. This is useless for that. This is designed to follow you, or somebody else you pick. It is a follow me drone. And it's not just any follow me drone. This is a drone that will follow you or somebody else you pick and avoid everything around. So you can chase a car at high speed, chase a motocross over the hills and through trees. It will follow it. It will go up and down and do everything and miss the trees. It will follow you on a skateboard, running through city streets, whatever. It will not crash into anything. It is designed not to crash into anything. It's the only drone on the market that has the ability to do that. It is really, really good, but it is expensive. But let me tell you the specs first, and then I'll get into the price and everything else. So here we go. The Skydio 2 weighs a little bit over 700 grams. It has a camera on it that can shoot at 4K 60 frames per second. Really, really good camera and take quality photos. Flight time is about 23 minutes. Flight range is about 3.5 kilometers on a good day. For intelligent flight modes, it has a pile of them, but they're all based on following an object. And there are no flight restrictions on this drone, so you can fly it any place you want. Now, when you get the drone, it comes with a hard case like this, which is really good. Comes with one battery, and I don't think they throw a controller in it. When I received mine, you just use your cell phone. There's an app. The app is really good because it's all designed to follow you. So there's an app, but if you want a controller, you can pay extra and get a controller. They also have the beacon, which is really cool right here. So if you have the controller, you can fly it like a normal drone, a lot easier than with your app on your phone. And yeah, you can then just film around any place you want, but it always has the obstacle avoidance on. You can never turn that off. Also, the beacon is designed so that you put the beacon on you and you have your hands free to do something else, and basically the drone will just follow the beacon. So wherever this goes, the drone will follow. And the cool thing is that you can actually control the drone with the beacon by pressing certain buttons and getting it to do certain things while you're flying. This drone is the most expensive one. It is $999 US. It does not go on sale. And the reason it doesn't go on sale is because the demand is greater than the amount of drones available. So in other words, say you wanted to buy this drone today, you have to go to the Skydio website, you have to put down a deposit, you fall in order, and when they finally build some more in the future, you will then get your drone. It could be next month, it could be in 2 months, 3 months, whatever. So all in all, it's a really good drone. It's my favorite obstacle avoidance drone on the planet. This is the best one. But as you see, it's designed for a specific type of person, and it's also one of these drones you just can't go to your local store and pick up. You have to stand in line and wait like a lot of other people. All right, let's go on to the next drone. Now, the last drone I recommend is the Mavic Air 2, and I've saved it to the end because it is, in my opinion, the best drone for your money. Out of every drone I've shown you so far, this is by far the best. It is, well, it's incredible. Let's put it that way. If you can afford the price of the Mavic Air 2, you are going to have a drone that is going to last you many years, and you're going to be so happy with it. It's really good. So let me tell you a little bit about this. It's a foldable drone, typical DJI foldable drone. Now, you heard me say DJI, so yes, it has flight restrictions and all the other things that DJI is known for. But it's a really well-made, good drone, good flight time, good range, awesome sensors on here, obstacle avoidance. It's so good. It's like so reliable. I really like this drone. This is my top pick. If I had to have a top pick, this is the top pick for a drone under $1,000. This is it. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the specifications and then come back to me. Here we go. The DJI Mavic Air 2 weighs 570 grams. The photo resolution on this camera is an impressive 48 megapixel. It does not have a 48 megapixel sensor, but it has the ability to take multiple shots really quick and put them together to make a 48 megapixel photo. It's really decent. Highest video quality on this is 4K 60 frames per second, which is the standard. A lot of people like to use that. Flight time is 34 minutes. It does have the OcuSync 2.0 transmission system, so like the DJI Mini 2, it has a 10-kilometer range. It does have intelligent flight modes, and since it's DJI, they're all professional intelligent flight modes, really high quality that other manufacturers don't have. And it does have obstacle avoidance in the front and the rear, and it's an intelligent obstacle avoidance. Very, very intelligent. It will actually go around objects, vice just stop, which is awesome. And it does have flight restrictions because it's DJI. So yes, when you power it on, it has to check where you're sitting, where you're about to take off, and then it lets you know in the app if you can take off or not. So this one here will not fly if you're in an area near an airport. The controller is exactly the same as a DJI Mini 2 that I showed you. I'll put it over here. A lot of people like this controller. It feels good in the hands, rubber on the back, and your phone fits in it nicely. And the box looks like this, so you have a choice to buy just the Mavic Air 2, the controller with one battery, or you can get multiple batteries, chargers, and a shoulder bag, and a pile of other stuff in a Fly More kit. It depends how much you want to pay. Now, the Mavic Air 2 has been on sale, depends on which country you live in, so you can get it probably for a really good price. Normal price when not on sale is $799 US, but I have seen it lower than that, especially in combo deals like the Fly More. Sometimes you get a reduced price on that. That might take a few $50 off or whatever, it depends on your country. So check the links below, see if it's on sale now, and see if it's a drone for you. Alright, so there you have it. I've tried to make this video really short and as quick as possible and give you some information without going into too much detail. Each of these drones has a full review, and the links to the full reviews are below, as well as the links to where you can buy all these drones, and if there's discounts or anything on sale, that is below as well, so check that out. Now, if you have any questions on any of these drones, watch the full review first. If you still have questions after watching the full review, then by all means, post a question to me below and I will get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, then hey, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that very much. And if you want to see many, many more drone reviews in the future, stay tuned to this channel. If you would like me to do a video segment on drones over $1,000, let's say 1,000 to 5,000, I can definitely do that. If any of you are in the market for a drone of that magnitude or price, they are higher end drones obviously, but yeah, I could do a video on that if you want. All right guys, thanks for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.